My father used my tuition as leverage. Too bad I make more than he does now. Hey Reddit. So this story's been sitting with me for a long time. I never thought I'd share it, but recent events made it too poetic not to. Let's rewind a bit. I, 24M, come from a very traditional family. The kind where appearances matter more than actual relationships. My dad is the type of guy who thinks respect equals obedience, and anything less than perfection is failure. That will matter later. My older brother, let's call him Daniel, is the golden child. Always has been. Straight A's, varsity athlete, smooth talker, made it into a well-known business school. My parents never shut up about him. Why can't you be more like Daniel, was the soundtrack of my teen years. Me. I was the quiet one. I liked coding, video games, and being left alone. I wasn't a troublemaker, but I didn't live up to my dad's very specific blueprint of success, lawyer, doctor, or corporate suit. So he treated me like I was wasting oxygen. Despite the lack of faith, I still worked hard. I got into a solid tech program at a state school, picked up internships early, and started building apps on the side. I wasn't flashy, but I was focused. My tuition was partially covered by scholarships and grants, but my dad agreed to pay the rest, on the condition that I did something useful. Anyway, cut to a few years later, I'm finishing my last semester, job offer already lined up with a six-figure starting salary at a SaaS company. I hadn't told anyone yet, I was waiting for graduation to drop the good news. That's when Daniel announces he's getting married. Of course, the wedding is massive. Destination venue, black tie, obnoxious registry. And, naturally, it falls right in the middle of my finals week. I tell my parents I can't make it. I explain the timing, the exams, the job onboarding stuff. I even offered to come visit before or after. But nope. My dad loses it. If you don't show up for your brother's wedding, don't expect another cent from me. I'll cut off your tuition, I swear to God. No joke. Over a wedding. That's when I realized, to him, I wasn't family. I was leverage. What he didn't know. I didn't need his money anymore. So, when my dad gave that whole, "I'll cut you off if you miss your brother's wedding," speech, I didn't argue. I didn't yell. I didn't beg. I didn't explain myself again. I just said. Okay. If that's how you feel, I won't be there. He thought I was bluffing. My mom called me in tears 2 days later, trying to play middleman. Daniel didn't say a word, which, honestly, hurt more than I expected. For someone who was always family first, he sure didn't seem to care that I was being blackmailed into attending his wedding during my finals. So, I did the unthinkable, at least to them. I made arrangements to pay off the final part of my tuition myself. Here's the thing, over the past year, I'd quietly built up a solid income from freelance coding gigs and app contracts. I wasn't flexing Lumbos or anything, but I had a healthy savings account. I'd also just accepted a signing bonus from the company I was about to join, $20,000 up front, with relocation support. So I paid the tuition. Out of pocket. Quietly. Without telling them. I emailed my advisor and removed my parents as authorized users on my student account. No more shared billing. No more access. Just me. 2 days before the wedding, my dad called, all smug. "I hope you've come to your senses. You'll be on the next flight out, right?" I said, flatly. "No. I've already paid off the semester. I'll be staying." Dead silence. Then, and I swear I'll never forget the tone, he said. "You think you don't need us now, huh?" And I said. "I don't think it. I know it." Click. He hung up. I'll admit, I sat there for a few minutes, phone in hand, heart pounding. This was the first time I'd ever truly stood up to him. The first time I'd chosen myself over their approval. And it felt like freedom. I focused on my finals, crushed my last project, and got the official job contract signed 2 days later. Meanwhile, the wedding happened without me. Photos were everywhere. Happy family, big smiles, staged perfection. But one person wasn't smiling behind the scenes, because I'd quietly shattered the control they thought they had. So, the wedding passes without me. I focus on school, finish strong, and sign the final paperwork for my job. Starting salary: $115,000, plus a $20,000 signing bonus, benefits, and stock options. Tech's been good to me. A couple of weeks later, I graduate. No one from my family shows up. Not even a text. Honestly, it stung a little. But also, not surprising. For them, obedience equals love. If you set a boundary, you're disrespectful. So I didn't wait for a congratulations that was never coming. But here's where the universe stepped in with a little poetic justice. About a month after graduation, I get invited to a birthday barbecue from a mutual family friend. I almost decline, but something told me to go. And guess who's there? Yep. My parents. Daniel. His new wife. The whole shiny, perfect crew. They looked surprised to see me. My dad gave me this stiff nod, like he was trying to pretend we hadn't gone nuclear a few weeks prior. I just smiled and said, "Hey. Good to see you." Cool. Calm. Collected. I'm talking to some people when one of the family friends, a very blunt aunt, comes up and says, loud enough for several people to hear. "So, what's next for you, huh? Heard you skipped your brother's wedding for school. Was it worth it?" I just smiled and said, "Yeah, actually. I accepted a job in tech right after finals. 6 figures, remote. Starting next month." There was a moment of silence. Then she goes, half joking, "Wow, you might be making more than your dad now." I chuckled, but didn't deny it. My dad's face. Priceless. He went pale. He knew I'd been freelancing, but he had no idea I'd landed this kind of position. The man who once threatened to pull tuition now realized I could pay his if I wanted to. Daniel tried to keep the mood light, made a joke about joining the rich little brother club. But you could tell, the vibes had shifted. I wasn't the black sheep anymore. I was the quiet wolf who built his own damn path. The family friend's barbecue turned into the most unintentionally satisfying coming out party of my life. I didn't flaunt. I didn't brag. I just stood there, calm, knowing the control they once held over me had vanished, and they knew it. A week after the barbecue, I got a call from a number I hadn't saved, because I'd deleted it months ago. It was my dad. At first, I didn't answer. Let it go to voicemail. He left a message. "Hey. Just wanted to talk. Maybe we could get dinner. I think we got off on the wrong foot." The wrong foot? This man tried to financially threaten me into obedience, cut me off over a wedding, and didn't show up for my graduation. And now, suddenly, he wanted to chat. Curiosity got the better of me. I agreed to meet. Public place, neutral ground. He showed up in his usual button-up and superiority complex, but it was cracked now. He looked uncomfortable. His smile was forced. I just sat there sipping coffee, letting him squirm. He started off with small talk, job stuff, "Proud of you, you always were the smart one, blah blah." Then came the real reason. "Listen. I may have been too harsh. I didn't realize how serious you were about your career. I was trying to guide you. I didn't say anything. I just stared." Then he said, "I guess I was wrong. You're doing well. Maybe better than I expected." Better than he expected was code for better than he was. And then, the kicker. "I was wondering if you'd be willing to help your brother out a bit. He's been looking for work since the wedding. Maybe you could put in a word at your company." I actually laughed. Like, out loud. This man went from power-tripping over tuition to asking me to help his golden child. The same golden child whose wedding I wasn't good enough to miss finals for. So I leaned in, calm as ever, and said, "I'd love to help him, the same way you helped me when I needed support." He blinked. Processing. And I just smiled. "You remember that, right? When you told me if I didn't show up for the wedding, I was on my own." He didn't respond. Just sat there, lips pressed thin. "So yeah. I think he'll be fine." Like I was. Then I stood up, tossed a few bucks on the table for my coffee, and walked out. Didn't look back. It's been over a year now. I'm still with the same company, recently promoted. Fully independent. Quietly thriving. My parents? We're civil. Barely. Daniel? Still bouncing between jobs. And me? I sleep peacefully knowing that I never had to scream or prove anything. I just worked. Moved in silence. Let success speak for me. So yeah, my father once tried to control me with tuition. Too bad I learned how to build a life he can't touch.